Today's video is going to be all about subscribing to the channel because I noticed a lot of you guys are watching and not subscribing, and I think you need to subscribe. Or not. But hopefully you do. Today I really wanted to talk, though, about the Resident Evil 4 Collector's Edition. This was announced the other day during the Resident Evil live stream, where we found out that Capcom is, in fact, working on Resident Evil 4 Remastered. It does have an official release date of next year, and yes, it will include a $250 collector edition available on all the platforms that matter. Sorry, Nintendo, but I know you'll probably be some kind of cloud streaming crap. But if I was going to get this, by the way, I would definitely get it on PlayStation 5 because I think it would be amazing to play with the new Pro Controller that I will be getting here soon. And I just think that Resident Evil 4 is one of those games that a lot of us have very fond memories about. So the fact that they're going back and making it slightly different and maybe adding some new cosmetics and some of the new sound effects and obviously modern touches of a, modern game, I think it's going to do well. The question is your nostalgia worth $250 to get the definitive edition of everything? Well, that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So what does this collector edition include? Well, it includes a lot of stuff. It's obviously got the game, which from what I can tell is the actual game. It's not a download code. It's the physical disc. It comes with a Steelbook, which is nice. The Steelbook itself looks like it's some pretty nice art based on what I can tell in the photo here. This is the front and the back of the Steelbook. So you got some zoom-in shots there of, Resident Hotshot, Leon S. Kennedy entering the town. And then on the backside, a more traditional kind of somber looking Leon. But I love Steelbooks. I have many, many, many Steelbooks. That looks like a really good one, so I would be excited for that. It also includes an extra DLC pack, which includes a lot of stuff listed across the bottom of the screen here. It does include the pre-order bonus as well. So if you want the pre-order bonus stuff, the good thing is by buying this early, you get it all. But this specific collector edition includes some costumes and filters and a treasure map and a weapon, soundtrack swap, and sunglasses. So a bunch of things that don't necessarily impact your gameplay too much, but again, if you are a collector and you want the ultimate definitive edition of that bonus soundtrack or any of that other stuff, obviously this is probably for you. At least that piece may be interesting. You do also get a digital soundtrack with it. How they've done digital soundtracks in the past typically is it's a code to go to some sort of website to download it, which is fine, honestly. Most of the stuff is digital. It's easy enough to burn onto your iPhone or onto whatever your streaming platform of choices. I still use Winamp, believe it or not. I don't know, a lot of people still use Winamp. I throw my stuff right into Winamp and I don't have a problem there. Again, though, as you guys know, my old 2007 Dodge Ram 1500 pickup truck still does have a CD player, which still works. So I'm a little sad there that I won't be able to put the CD into my truck and listen to some of the really cool Resident Evil 4 jams as I'm cruising the city. But I suspect I am in the vast minority of people who actually care about that anymore. You're going to get the figure, which I'll skip momentarily. We'll come back to that. You're going to get an art book, a poster, and a box. Believe it or not, it all comes in a nice box for you to have all your stuff. Now, the figure itself, I've tried to look online. I went back and looked through the postings. I don't really see a specification specifically on the actual figure size. Now, I do see dimensions of the box itself, which gives me some general indication of how big the figure is, but we don't know for sure. From what I can guess, figure's probably anywhere from 9 to 11 inches tall, so that's pretty standard, I think, with what you would expect. when you look at other collector edition figures. So this is, I feel like, on the larger side of what we normally see, which is nice. I mean, it is fetching a large price point, so I'm hoping that the Capcom gods are doing the right thing and giving us a decent figure. Now, the figure itself, I don't know. This is where I kind of start to question, could they have done better? I always talk about the base in figures because I think it says a lot about the attention to detail and definitely about how invested they were when they made this. It doesn't say Resident Evil 4 across the front. Thank God. I hate when they do that in collector editions. This one says Leon S. Kennedy, the character's name, but the base is kind of boring. It's just basically a hockey puck of plastic with some texturing on it. It could be ice. It could be some sort of gravel, but you're not really getting a lot of environmental ambiance or anything here. Think of like the Uncharted 4 Collector's Edition where you had plants and all that stuff around Nathan Drake, or Galahad Under Fire from Order 1886, this really cool statue of him leaning against the wall with chunks of the cobblestone below him, or even Days Gone, where we saw the character leaning up against his motorcycle and you could see the tire tracks and some like dead zombie, or I guess they called them freakers, whatever. You could see some of the guts around Deacon St. John. That was really cool. Here you just have a piece of black plastic. I don't know. I think they could do better. The actual attention to detail in the figure does look pretty nice, though. I can see a lot of detailing, obviously, on his boots and some of his equipment there, you know, around his waist, his gun holster, his flashlight. He's holding his shotgun. And I have to say that, honestly, the face looks a little off, maybe, but definitely not as big of a derp as, like, the Resident Evil 7 Collector Edition, where we saw some really nonsensical Chris Redfield. I don't know what that was. He had like an afro and he was like just weird looking. This does look like Leon to me. So I can accept that. Maybe a little off on the face, just slightly. I can't really put my finger exactly on what. Obviously, comparing it to some of the remake, like Resident Evil 2 remake, he doesn't look exactly the same, but I think it looks cool. And he's definitely distinguishable. I think anybody would instantly look at that, obviously, if the Leon S. Kennedy banner was gone. But I think anyone would look at that instantly and go, okay, yeah, I got it. That's Leon. So if you are a fan, it is available on GameStop. I believe this is a GameStop exclusive. I could be wrong on that. I'm not 100% sure on that. But there are a lot of other things obviously included in the game. That's what a lot of the hype is going to be around. Some of the, the crafting system and some of the new visual systems and the utilization of his knife and some other stuff. But specific to GameStop with this collector edition, I think it's here only. So if you're interested in it, I would definitely pre-order. I suspect, and I've said this on all these collector edition videos, this is going to sell out. I don't know when it's going to sell out. It's going to sell out, and then that's when you're going to want it. Now, I think GameStop does bill instantly. I could be wrong on that as well. You could always go put a physical deposit in on a physical store and give them like $20 and they'll hold a spot for you. If you're not comfortable pre-ordering and potentially getting the entire charge now. But if you even think that you want this, do yourself a favor and get it now. And then if you don't want it later, you cancel it. But the chances of you getting it on launch or a week after launch when the reviews come in and it's one of the best games, everybody's losing their mind, is very slim. All right, so keep that in mind. That will wrap up my thoughts today on the Resident Evil 4 Collector's Edition. For me, I think I'm leaning more towards yes than no. It's just a lot of money. I guess that's where I just keep going back. It's like, well, do I really want to spend $250 on a statue and a soundtrack? Because the rest of the stuff, you know as well as I do, is pretty much garbage, with the exception of the Steelbook. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm kind of floating around. So sound off in the comments below. Convince me yes or no and why. How about that? That's it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.